Good morning, everybody. Please wave good morning to each other. I presume that all of us have been raised as Catholics to believe that in order to be saved, in order to become saints, we need two things. We need to pray, communicate with God. Correct? Is that right, Paez? And we need to live a moral life. Is that right, Abet? Yes. To pray and to live a moral life. Is this correct? How many of you believe that to be saved, to become saints, we need to communicate with God and we have to live a moral life? How many of you believe that is the way to sainthood? Raise your hand. Nita, you have to raise your hand or not? You don't have to. All right? That is such an incorrect answer. Pasensya na kayo, I'm a teacher. People spend so much time in church and private prayer, in a novena or two, recitation of the rosary, round the clock. They go to Zoom masses 4 times a day. Okay? They keep all the commandments. They are honest. They have integrity. They are obedient. They are respectful. They do not cheat. They do not lie. Father, wala akong inaargabyado sa buhay ko. And they think they are on their way to holiness. These are not optional. These are necessary, but not enough. Seldom do parents, especially, impress upon their children involvement with the struggle of the poor as a way to holiness. As a way to holiness. Oo. So, basta ako at ang pamilya ko, nagsisimba kami, nagdadasal kami, hindi kami nagkakasala, okay na kami. We can hope to be saved. Hindi po totoo yan. Social justice, involvement with the poor is as non-negotiable as praying and a moral life. Non-negotiable. To be involved with the poor is not an extra, gusto mo lang o hindi. There can be no spiritual health without being involved in social justice. Natitiis mo, lalo na sa bayang ito, ang mga tao naghihirap. Natitiis mo. Oh, wow. Concentrating on the welfare of our families only cannot save us, cannot make us saints, cannot make us holy. We must go beyond our families. And as the Pope Francis says, get our hands dirtied. So, in conclusion, a good, healthy Christian life means to pray, to live a good moral life, and to be involved with the poor. Correct? You believe that? How many of you believe that? Raise your hand. Pati, do you believe or not? Si Pati kasi kilala niya ako, alam niyang mahilig ako sa mga ganitong bagay because you are all wrong. Wrong again. So ang nangyayari niyan, as long as I have an advocacy, as long as I work for the poor, as long as I give myself to my preaching, to my ministry, I continue hold grudges. I find it very difficult to forgive. I'm very opinionated. And hindi na. My work is my prayer. Hindi ko na kailangan magdasal o magsimba. Because, I am so immersed. I'm too busy doing works for God. I don't have time for Him. Or I say my prayers, I attend church, I obey all the commandments against sexuality. I have many priest friends. And yet I ignore the poor. In fact, I exploit them. Alam niyo yung mga type na may mga malalaki silang negosyo, tapos lahat ng kanilang mga nagtatrabaho sa kanila remain casuals. And yet, ang dami niyang pinagawang simbahan. Oh, wow! Sino niloloko mo? Not God. Not God. And why this double life? Why? Because I have prayer, I have private moral life, I have involvement with the social justice. It's not enough. It's not enough. Akala niyo sa langit, cheap? Even if they're together, I pray, I private moral life, I'm involved with the poor. Even if you put that together, it cannot make us saints. Healthy spiritual life doesn't have 3 elements. It has 4 elements. A moral life, a life of prayer, a life involved with others is not enough. There has to be, listen to me, my opinion, my suggestion, there has to be friendship, a life of friendship. If we live really a truly prayerful life, truly moral and social, if it is genuine, we become prophets. Ang problema, pag tunay kang prophets, you will be, ang tunay real prophets talaga, meaning genuine yung prayer life mo, genuine yung involvement mo, genuine yung moral life mo, you become persecuted. You become powerless. You become a reject. Now, if that is not happening to you, you are not a prophet. Because no disciple can be greater than the master. Our master was murdered. And the tendency of prophets, ang problema sa tendency of prophets is, oh wow, seen this so many times, they become very self-righteous. They become very exclusive. Me against the world. Hindi tayo kagaya nila. Hindi niyo ako maintindihan kasi ganito kami sa members namin. Ganito kami kasi member ako nito. And so they become actually filled with bitterness. They actually hate those they profess to save. Bakit? Mga ayaw magsimba. Mga selfish. Ayaw magbigay. True Christians are recognized by their joy and their love. Period. Prophetic words out of indignation has no love. Galit. And only friendship can save us. Loving, challenging friends who can melt our bitterness and free us from self-righteousness, from being critical, from being exclusive. Friends who listen to us and to whom we listen to. Friends who celebrate and genuinely mourn with us, mourn for us. Friends who, even if they don't agree with us, they remain loyal. Friends who can we can rely on, and who can rely on us. An element important to holiness. It can be your spouse, it can be your sibling, it can be your classmate, it can be a person who used to be a stranger or even an enemy to you. My dear friends, These are people who are gathered in God's name in friendship. That is what, for me, is what puso is. Do you have to be in puso to be prayerful? No. To live a moral life? To be involved with the poor? No. But you have to be in puso because of friendship. We cannot go this alone. And that is what Mary's Way is all about. That is what all our groups, we have to now think about it. All those groups we belong to, teka muna. Do they make me holy? And when I talk about friendship, we're not talking about social or work friendship or no. We're not talking about that kind of friendship. That friendship is not bad, but it's not enough. That is not enough. It's a friendship of like-minded people who respond to God's call to holiness. It's a friendship in which, these friends of mine, I have given them permission to correct me, to give feedback to me. That cannot be anybody. To tell me where I'm right and where I am wrong. Hindi yung nag-iinuman lang tayo, nagkakainan o nagtatawanan. That kind of friendship. And when I discovered a friend like that, my goodness gracious, sabihin ko sa'yo, Sister Becky, my Salesian life totally changed. When I found a person who was like that to me. Friend, whom I gave permission to correct me. To help me go to heaven. That kind of friendship. Jesus had friends. The saints had friends. They didn't go about their holiness alone in private. One of the most beautiful things that has happened to me, to have found a friend who does. But I have more than one who does that. I'd like to say here in public, I appreciate the many times Mita, you don't know her, but she's here. She corrects me. I'm so grateful. Kasi kami mga pare, Diyos ko, we are holier than everybody. And so before I end, I would like to ask you to ask yourself these key questions to determine and evaluate your spiritual health. Number one, do I pray every day? Every day. Only 3 questions. Number two, am I involved in the struggle of the poor? Other people beyond my family? And number 3, do I have the kind of friends who make me feel more joyful, more thankful to the Lord? Meron ba akong mga ganon? Every time I'm with them, parang I feel so grateful to God. Hindi lang yung busog ako or nagtawanan kami. Let us pause for a while and allow God to speak to us. I'm not suggesting we break some friendships, but maybe we should value other friendships more and invest on those friendships more.